So we're going to read from Margaret, Junkin, Preston. She's known as the Poetess of the South. Let's see. Get that. Put you down here. Put you up here. Let's stay up there. So, let us read the first poem. It's called Beach and Brook, and it's the first poem in here, and it's like 67 pages, but it's broken up into sections. I think 10 sections. I think we'll read the first section maybe. There is sorrow in Beach and Brook Cottage. The day has been bright with the earliest glory of May. The blue of the sky is as tender as tender a blue as ever the sunshine came shimmering through. The songs of the birds and the hum of the bees as they merrily dart in and out of the trees. The blooms of the orchard as shifting its snows, it mingles its odors with hawthorn and rose. The voice of the brook as it lapses unseen, the laughter of children at play on the green, insist on a picture so cheerful, so fair. Whoever would dream that a grief could be there? Hey, the last yellow sunbeam slides down from the wall. The purple of evening is ready to fall. The gladness of daylight is gone, and the gloom of something like sadness is over the room. Right bravely all day, with a smile with a smile, where'd I go? Let's start again. The last yellow sunbeam slides down from the wall. The purple of evening is ready to fall. The gladness of daylight is gone, and the gloom of something like sadness is over the room. Right bravely all day, with a smile on her brow, has Alice been true to her duty, but now her tasks are all ended, not inside or out, for the thoughtfulest love to be busy about. The knapsack well furnished, the canteen all bright, the soldier's gray dress and his gauntlets in sight, the blanket tight strapped and the haversack stored, the line beside them, the cap and the sword. No last little office, no further commands, no service to steady the tremulous hands. All wife work, the sweet work that busied her so, is finished. The dear one is ready to go. Not a sob has escaped her all day, not a moan. But now the tide rushes, for she is alone. On the fresh shining knapsack she pillows her head and weeps as a mourner might weep for the dead. She heeds not the 3-year-old baby at play, as laying the cap at the carpet he lay, till she feels on her forehead his fingers' soft tips, and on her shut eyelids the touch of his lips. Mama is so sorry, Mama is so sad, but Archie can make her look up and be glad. I've been praying to God, as you told me to, that Papa may come back when the battle is through. He says when we pray that our prayers shall be heard. And Mama, don't you always know God keeps his word? Around the young comforter stealthily press the arms of his father with sudden caress. Then fast to his heart, love and duty at strife, he snatches with fondness emotion his wife. My own love, my precious, I feel I am strong, I know I am brave in opposing the wrong. I could stand where the battle was fiercest, nor feel one quiver of nerve at the flash of the steel. I could gaze at the enemy, guiltless of fears, but I quail at the sight of your passionate tears. My calmness forsakes me, my thoughts are a whirl, and the stout-hearted man is as weak as a girl. I've been proud of your fortitude, never a trace of yielding all day could I read in your face, but I look that was resolute, dauntless, and high, as ever flashed forth from a patriot's eye. I know how you cling to me, know that to part is tearing the tenderest chords of your heart. Through the length and the breadth of our valley today, no hand will costlier sacrifice lay on the altar of country, and Alice, sweet wife, I never have worshipped you so in my life. Poor heart that has held up so brave in the past, poor heart, must it break with its burden at last? The arms thrown about him but tightened their hold. The cheek that he kisses is ashy and cold, and bowed with the grief she so long has suppressed, she weeps herself quiet and calm on his breast. At length, in a voice just as steady and clear as if it had never been choked by a tear, she raises her eyes with a softened control, and through them her husband looks into her soul. I feel that we each for the other could die. Your heart to my own makes the instant reply. But dear as you are, love, my life and my light, I would not consent to your stay if I might. No, arm for the conflict and on with the rest. Virginia has need of her bravest and best. My heart, it must bleed, and my cheek will be wet. Yet never believe me with selfish regret. My ardor abates not one jot of its glow, though the tears of the wife and the woman will flow. Our cause is so holy, so just and so true. Thank God I can give a defender like you. For home and for child, for home and for children, for freedom, for bread, for the house of our God, for the graves of our dead, for leave to exist on the soil of our birth, for everything manhood holds dearest on earth. When these are the things that we fight for, dare I hold back my best treasures? With plaint or with sigh, my cheek would blush crimson, my spirit be galled. If he were not there when the muster was called. When we pleaded for peace, every right was denied, every pressing petition turned proudly aside. Now God judge betwixt us, God prosper the right. To brave men there's nothing remains but to fight. I grudge you not, Douglas. Die rather than yield, and like the old heroes, come home on your shield. The morning is breaking, the flush of the dawn is warning the soldier 'tis time to be gone. The children around him expectantly wait, his horse all capricioned pause at the gate, with face strangely pallid, no sobbings, no sighs, but only a luminous mist in her eyes. His wife is subduing the heart throbs that swell, and calming herself for a quiet farewell. There falls a felt silence, the note of a bird, a tremulous twitter is all it is heard. The circle has knelt. The circle has knelt by the holy bush there, and listen, there comes the low breathing of prayer. Father, fold thine arms of pity round us as we lowly bow. Never have we kneeled before thee with such burdened hearts as now. Joy has been our constant portion, and if ill must now befall, with a filiala, acquaintance, we would thank thee for it all. In the path of present duty, with thy hand to lean upon, questioning not the hidden future, may we walk serenely on. For this holy, happy home love, purest bliss that crowns my life, for these tender, trusting children, for this fondest, faithful wife. Here I pour my full thanksgiving, and when heart is torn from heart, be our sweetest, triest word, Mizpah. Watch betwixt us while we part. And if never round this altar we should kneel as hithertofore, if these arms in benediction fold my precious ones no more, thou, who is her dearest anguish, soothest thy mother's lonely lot in thy still unchained compassion. Son of man, forsake them not. The little ones each he has caught to his breast and clasped them and kissed them with fervent caress. Then wordless and tearless, with hearts running over, they part who have never been parted before. He springs to his saddle, the rein is drawn tight, and Beechenbrook Cottage is lost to his sight. On to the second part. 15 minutes in. Ellen and Dennis, thanks for coming. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah. Appreciate it. I think we'll read the second one. How long is the second one? It's ways. 10 pages. The feathery foliage has broadened its leaves, and June with its beautiful morning and eves, its magical atmosphere, breezes and blooms, its woods all delicious with thousand perfumes, firstborn of the summer, spoiled pet of the year. June, delicate queen of the seasons, is here. Let's read that again. I like that. The feathery foliage has broadened its leaves, and June, with its beautiful mornings and eves, its magical atmosphere, breezes and blooms, its woods all delicious with thousand perfumes, firstborn of the summer, spoiled pet of the year. June, delicate queen of the seasons, is here. The sadness is past from the dwelling away, and quiet serenity brightens the day. With innocent prattle, her toils to beguile. In the midst of her children, the mother must smile with matronly cares, those restless demands on the strength of her heart and the skill of her hands. The hours come tenderly, ceaselessly fraught, and leave her small space for the broodings of thought. Thank God, busy fingers a solace can find to lighten the burden of body or mind, and Eden's old curse proves a blessing instead. In the sweat of thy brow shalt thou toil for thy bread, for the blessed relief in all labors that lurk. I thank him, unhappy ones, thank him for work. Thus Alice engages her thoughts and her powers and industry kindly lends wings to the hours, poor petty employments, they sometimes appear, and on her bright needle there plashes a tear. Half shame and half passion, what would she not dare? Her fervid compatriots struggles to share. It irks her, the weakness of womanhood then. Yet such are the tears that make heroes of men. She feels the hot blood of the nation beat high. With rapture she catches the rallying cry. From mountain and valley and hamlet they come. On every side echoes the roll of the drum. A people as firm, as united, as bold, as ever drew blade for the blessings they hold. Step sternly and solemnly forth in their might, and swear on their altars to die for the right. The clangor and muskets and flashing of steel, the clatter of spurs on the stout booted heel, the waving of banners, the resonant trap of marching battalions, the fiery stamp of steeds in their war harness, newly decked out, the blast of the bugle, the hurry, the shout, the terrible energy, eager and wild, that lights up the face of man, woman, and child, that burns on all lips, that arouses all powers. Did ever we dream that such times would be ours? One thought it absorbing with giant control, with deadliest earnest, the national soul. The right of self-government, crown of our pride. Right, brought with the sacredest blood, is denied. Shall we tamely resign what our enemy craves? No, martyrs we may be, we cannot be slaves. Fair woman, who naught but indulges, has seen, who never have learned what denial could mean. Right on, right on. Oh. Well, I hope everybody is having a good day. For sure. Thank you. Thank you for the $2 sticker there. Of the fast and the fierce cannonading, it shook the ground till it trembled along by the brook. One instant the listener sways in her seat, the paralyzed heart has forgotten to beat. The next, with the speed and the frenzy of fear, she gains the green hillock and pauses to hear. Again and again the reverberant sound is fearfully felt in the tremulous ground. Again and again on their senses it thrills, like thunderous echoes astray in the hills. On tiptoe the summer wind lifting his hair, with nostril expanded and scented the air, like a melted young war horse that tosses his mane and frettingly chomps at the bit, and the rain, like rains, stands eager, exultant, a 12-year-old boy, his face all aflame with a rapturous joy. That's music for heroes in battle array. Oh, mother, I feel like a Roman today, the Romans I read of in Plutarch. Yes, men thought it noble to die for their liberties then, and I've wondered if soldiers were ever so bold, so gallant and brave as those heroes of old. There, listen, that volley peals out the reply. They prove it is sweet for their country to die. How grand it must be, what a pride, what a joy. And I can do nothing, I'm only a boy. The fervid hand drops as he ceases to speak, and the eloquent crimson fades out on his cheek. Oh, Beverly, brother, it never would do. Who comforts Mama, and who helps her like you? She sends to the battle her darlingest one. She could not give both of them, husband and son. If she lose you, what's left her in life to enjoy? Oh no, I am glad you are only a boy. And Sophie looks up with her tenderest air and kisses the fingers that toy with her hair. For her who all silent and motionless stands, and over her heart locks her quivering hands, with white lips apart and with eyes that dilate, as if the low thunder were sounding her fate. What racking suspenses, what agonies stir, what scepters these echoes are rousing for her. There we go. Brave-natured, yet quaking, high-souled, yet so pale. Is it thus that the wife of a soldier should quail and shudder and shrink at the boom of a gun, as only a faint-hearted girl should have done? Ah, wait until custom has blunted the keen, cutting edge of that sound, and no woman, I ween, will hear it with pulses more equal, more free from feminine terrors and weakness than she. The sun sinks serenely, and lingering look he flings at the mists that steal over the brook, like nuns that come forth in the twilight to pray, till their blushes are seen through their mantles of gray. The gay-hearted children, but lightly oppressed, find perfect relief on their pillow of rest. For Alice, no blessed forgetfulness comes. The wail of the bugles, the roll of the drums, the musket's sharp crack, the artillery's roar, the flashing of bayonets dripping with gore, the moans of the dying, the horror, the dread, the ghastliness gathering over the dead. Oh, these are the visions of anguish and pain, the phantoms of terror that troop through her brain. She pauses again and again on the floor, which the moonlight has brightened so mockingly over. She wrings her cold hands with a groan of despair. O God, have compassion, my darling is there. All placidly, dewily, freshly, the dawn comes stealing in pulseless tranquility on. More freely she breathes in its balminess, though the forehead is kissed in pallid with woe. Through the long summer sunshine the cottage is stirred by passers who brokenly fling them a word, such tidings of slaughter. The enemy cowers. He breaks. He is flying. Manassas is ours. 'Tis evening, and Archie, alone on the grass, sits watching the fireflies gleam as they pass. When sudden he rushes, too eager to wait. Mama, there's an ambulance. Stops at the gate. Suspense then is past. He is born from the field. God help me. God grant it be not on his shield. And Alice, her passionate soul in her eyes, and hope and fear ringing, each quickening step flies, embraces with frantical wildness the form of her husband, and finds it is living and warm. Well, I think we will definitely read some more later. Yes, I nearly forgot. Can you come say hi, Lily? Lily. Can you say hi? Lily. Lily. Say hi. Say hi. This is kind of sad. Kind of sad. Let's peel our sticker off. Yay! Come right off of there. Put it over there. You smell that? Oh. Well, I feel like maybe we can read another section here. I think pages section 3. Not too many. Ye who by the couches of languishing ones have watched through the rising and setting of suns, who silent behind the close curtain, withdrawn, scarce know that the current of being sweeps on, to whom outer life is unreal, untrue, a world with whose moils ye have nothing to do, who feel that the day with its multiform rounds is full of discordant, impertinent sounds, who speak in low whispers and stealthily tread, as if a faint football were something to dread, who find all existence, its gladness, its gloom, enclosed by the walls of that limited room. He only can measure the sleepless unrest that lies like a nightmare on Alice's breast. Days come and days go, and she watches the strife so evenly balanced twixt death and twixt life. Thanks God he still breathes as each evening takes wing, and dares not to think what the morrow may bring. In the lone ghostly midnight he raves as he lies, with death's ashen pallidness dimming his eyes. He shouts the sharp war cry, he rallies his men. He is on the red field of Manassas again. Now courage, my comrades, keep steady, lie low. Wait like the couched lion to spring on your foe. Ye'll face without flinching the cannon's grim mouth, for ye're knights of the horseshoe, you're sons of the South. There's Jackson, how brave he rides, coursing at will. Miss the prostrated lines on the crest of the hill. God keep him, for what will we do if he falls? Be ready, good fellows. Be cool when he calls. To the charge, oh, we'll beat them, we'll turn them, and then we'll ride them down madly. Onward, my men. The feverish frenzy over weariness him soon, and back on his pillow he sinks in a swoon. And sometimes when Alice is wetting his lip, he turns from the draught and refuses to sip. 'Tis sweet, pretty angel, But yonder there lies a famishing comrade, with death in his eyes. His need is far greater. Sir Philip, I think, or was it Sir Philip? Go, go, let him drink. And oft, with a sort of bewildered amaze on her face, he would fasten the wistfulest gaze. You are kind, but a hospital nurse can be like Alice, my tenderest Alice, to me. Oh, I know there's a beechen brook, many a tear, as she asks all the day, will he never be here? But nature, kind healer, brings sovereign nest balm, and strokes the wild pulses with coolness and calm. The conflict so equal, stubborn is past, and life gains the hardly won battle at last. How sweet through the long convalescence to lie, and from the low window gaze out at the sky, and float as the zephyrs so tranquil do, aloft in the depths of ineffable blue, in painless, delicious half-consciousness brood. No duties to cumber, no claims to intrude, receptive as childhood, from trouble as free, and feel it is bliss enough simply to be. For Alice, what pencil can picture her joy, so perfect, so thankful, so free from agony, as her lips press the lotus-bound chalice and drain that exquisite blessedness born out of pain. Oh, not in her maidenhood, blushing and sweet, when Douglas first poured out his love at her feet, and not when a shrinking and beautiful bride, with worshipping fondness she clung to his side, and not in those holiest moments of life, when first she had held in his heart as his wife, and never in motherhood's earliest bliss had she tasted a happiness rounded like this. And Douglas, safe sheltered from war's rude alarms, finds Eden's lost Preston precincts again in her arms. Finds Eden's lost precincts again in her arms. He hears afar off in the distance the roar and the lash of the billows that break on the shore of his isle of enchantment, his haven of rest, and rapturous languor steals over his breast. He baths in the sunlight of Alice's smile. He wraps himself round with love's magical wiles. His sweet iterations pall not on her car, not on her ear. I love you, I love you. She never can hear that cadence too often. Its musical roll wakes ever an echo reply in her soul. Do visions of trial of warning, of woe, loom dark in the future of doubt? Do they know they are hiving of honeyed remembrance, a store to live on when summer and sunshine are over? Do they feel that their island of beauty at last must be rent by the tempest, be swept by the blast? Do they dream that afar on the wild wintry main their love-frightened bark must be driven again? Bless God for the wisdom that curtains so tight tomorrow's enjoyments or griefs from our sight. Bless God for the ignorance, darkness, and doubt that girdle so kindly our future about. The crutches are brought, and the invalid's strength is able to measure the lawn's graveled length. And under the beeches once more he reclines, and hears the wind plaintively moan through the pines. His children around him with frolic and play cheat autumn's mild listlessness out of the day. And Alice, the sunshine all flecking her book, reads low to the chime of the murmuring brook. But the world's rushing tide washes up to his feet and leaps the soft barriers that bound his retreat. The tumult of camp surges out on the breeze and ever seems mocking his capon ease. He dare not be happy or tranquil or blessed while his soil by the feet of invaders is pressed. What brooks it though still he be pale as a ghost, if he languish or fail, let him fail at his post. The gums by the brookside are crimson and brown. The leaves of the ash flicker goldenly down. The roses that trellis the porches have lost their brightness and bloom at the touch of the frost. Start that again. The gums by the brookside are crimson and brown. The leaves of the ash flicker goldenly down. The roses that trellis the porches have lost their brightness and bloom at the touch of the frost. The osier twined seat by the beeches no more looks tempting and cheerful and sweet as of yore. The water glides darkly and mournfully on. As Alice sits watching it, Douglas has gone. Goodness gracious. banana peel away. Oops! Thought I'd turn down the radio, folks. I do apologize. Blessed little lily. Ready to go home, girl? All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming to our Poem a Day series. This is kind of a long one, but we did some excellent reading of Margaret, Junkin, Preston, and the Poetess of the South. We might do her again. Got to finish that long poem. We did 3 sections of it. But again, Tuesdays is our normal day, but we're gonna try and we did Thursday last week. We'll try and do Thursday again. We'll do some shorter. So we read just a little bit. I want to thank those that have commented and liked the stream, shared us out. Thankful for those that gave super chats, super stickers. Watch some of the playlists. Watch some of our YouTube shorts. Check out the Poem a Day series playlist. See some of the popular ones. Please tell a friend. Come back and join us. Flower power. Appreciate it. Appreciate the rainbow. And it's time to go. So, have a good one, everybody.